You even got a best friend out there. Take your time, take your time. I'm right here if you need me, okay?
Okay. Good morning, by the way.
Morning.
Equality. How does one, oh God, see, this is why I was doing like this. Okay. How does one word hold so much controversial weight? Why do we use the word so loosely and throw it around as if it only holds subliminal meaning and not realistic meaning? We preach and protest change and so badly want equality to be enforced, but in turn we do nothing to change our toxic and immature habits first. World peace will only come into effect when we apply strict change, better habits, and a better manner of living into our daily lives. Each and every single one of us needs to do this. Not a specific person, not a specific group of people, but every single human being needs to change their ways for this to truly have effect on our society. World peace will become a realistic outcome when we stop judging people based on ethnicity, character, gender, sexual orientation, and their differences. Maybe when we completely stop judging other people in general and accept them for who they are, our hopes will become realistic. No matter what our viewpoints are, we are all different. We shouldn't be ashamed of who we are and hide that about ourselves or feel embarrassed because it isn't a common characteristic in society. When we stop gunning each other down, stop trying to be superior to others, and stop hurting innocent people just because we aren't happy with ourselves, positive effect will be the outcome. There are many physical injuries that have long-lasting pain that comes with the initial pain. But over the years, I've noticed that words are not only painful, but stick with us forever. They burn a hole in us deep, causing depression that puts your mind in a mental trap and your body at an aching paralysis. This is something surgery cannot fix, something that therapy does its best to fix, but truly the pain is still engraved deep inside, trying to distract itself, but it will never truly be gone. This is why we need to be more thoughtful when words come to mind. Why is it that it's so easy to speak such hateful words to someone, but even easier to defend our family if those hateful words were said to them? Is it lack of intelligence, a ton of ignorance? Possibly, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to respect. This is where I go into my next topic, the golden rule. This was a common rule taught to us in elementary and preschool, the act of treating everyone the way we would like to be treated. Why did this disappear when we made our way to both middle school and high school? As adolescents, we walked into high school with the most critical pieces of evidence. If you're too outgoing, you'll be messed with. If you're not beautiful enough, you will not be accepted. And if you're not popular, you might as well kick rocks. It is wrong that the most innocent and sensitive time of our lives will be remembered by a time full of nothing else than being compared, mentally broken down, and letting grades define our intelligence when we're worth more than a grade scale that balances A through F. Whereas if you have A's and B's, you're more likely to make it in the real world. But if you have a C down to an F, you might as well drop out and try for a GED. Looking at it from this perspective just proves how unsupportive the grading system really is. But again, we are aware of the problems and still do absolutely nothing to fix it. We live in a world where the color of someone's skin, their financial status, and their living condition has too much predominant power over them. These factors make it nearly impossible for minorities to obtain the kind of freedom and resources they so desperately seek to thrive and prosper in this country. In the 1790s, it was a time where we were more open to allowing immigrants into America to escape their homelands, which was plagued with disease, poverty, and low-paying jobs. Unfortunately, we have increasingly gone backwards in this country because minorities face those same deplorable conditions today. For a little look into history, I wanted to discuss the fact that we are all descendants of immigrants who migrated to America for the same purpose as the people who are still turned away daily. We migrated for better opportunities, a better living situation, and to escape tenement living. These things negatively affect the lives of people daily, and it truly isn't fair. Why is it okay to turn down a human being who wants a better shot at life, even if it takes them escaping the grasp their country has on them? More importantly, why deprive an individual of a fresh start when we as Americans did the same? It is not okay at all, and it will never be okay to neglect another one of our kind, as well as having that much power over them to force them to stay stuck, trapped, and barely getting by. But again, we preach equality. We tell our peers to never be afraid to speak their minds, but silence them once we've heard what we didn't want to hear. Where in that is that fair to them? We allow both racist and sexist things to be said, but we are more worried about what to post next on our social medias when the issue is right there in front of us. As much as everyone wants to sit here and act like white privilege isn't a thing, it absolutely is. We treat it like it isn't there when it is directly in everyone's faces, staring at them dead in the eyes, but as many times as I say it and let the truth be told, nothing will ever change unless we change it ourselves. So just to be clear, what we're really talking about here is the negative effect inequality has on society and why we need to change. We often preach equality, but have a very difficult time with the majority of us stepping up to contribute to this essential fight. In fact, we have to realize that this is a lifelong fight. It is very encouraging to see all you here, and I wanted to thank every single one of you. Because if we want to see positive change in our world, we need to do precisely what we are doing right now. Coming together as one and looking at the bigger picture so we can fix the mistake that's created a disconnection in society. Thank you.